Beautiful day, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Love, Peace, and Happiness. I'm your hostess. I go by Melinda NailFanatic. I'm that colorblind, ambidextrous, creative, entrepreneurial, nail slinging, painting, singing, dancing, channeling tarot reader, and I am back to do the latest episode of The Download. This timeless general reading is being recorded for you on May the 10th, 2021. And so whenever you find it, it is by divine design that you do. And if the messages resonate, then pick them up and run with them. And if they don't, leave them where you found them. Either way, we're thankful and grateful to have you here today. So pull up a seat, grab your drink, grab your smoke, grab whatever you need, nice pillow, blanket, whatever. We're going to get into the download and see what are the messages for us today for our highest, lightest, and brightest good, for our overall love, peace, health, wealth, and happiness, because I absolutely love and adore my brothers and sisters of humanity. And I know the better that I do, the better that you do, the better and easier it is for all of us to do better because of these soul ties we have. These readings are based in the foundations and principles of the laws of the universe, not just the law of attraction, but definitely the law of attraction, as well as the other laws of the universe. And there is channel messages. I am an intuitive reader, so some of these cards, if you read cards, they won't follow all of the prescribed meanings. Okay, prescribed meanings. So a lot of the messages will be purely intuitive, and so they will channel through as they apply. Hold on, look, I'm messing with my moon because it's not hanging correctly. It's gonna get on my nerve. Okay, there we go. So there, everything once I hit record is definitely part of the reading. So somebody may be saying, there's something that's needs some adjusting in their life, or in regards to their intuition, because that was my moon. It's an amethyst. Could have to do with your intuition there, or in regards to some other aspect of your life. And that's like very general. I feel like everybody might feel that way sometimes, right? We all kind of can see where some adjusting would be nice. Okay. So I want to say thank you for the growth on the channel. Thank you for sharing these videos with somebody. And thank you for coming back, because you keep coming back, so do I. So hello to baby girl. How you doing, girl? Hey, Jenny. And she says, happy Mexican Mother's Day. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. So we're going to start your message today with P&Q's Oracle, the deck designed by my grandsons. It started just by being Q's Oracle, and then P decided to add some in, so now it's P&Q's Oracle. So let's see what we have from P&Q's Oracle for us today. What is the divine message? What do you want to speak to us? What messages do you have for us for our highest, lightest, and brightest good, our overall love, peace, health, wealth, and happiness? Oh, this guy's back. But it's a different one because the other one we had written down. So this looks like a van. Interesting, though. There's nobody driving it. The other one that we had, there was somebody driving it, okay? But it's got scales. It's got three scales up there. So I feel like there are three main spirits. Interesting. Okay, so I love what I'm getting. Okay, what I'm getting from this card is there are three loved ones in spirit who are helping to progress your life in a direction that's beneficial to you. Okay, so some of you are having dreams, or you're thinking about what your loved one would have said if they were here. But this loved one's energy, there's three particular ones, okay, that are coming through, is helping you to progress and move forward. For some of you, I'm hearing these are lessons surrounding your experience with those ones. So let's go ahead and see what else we have coming out for today from the Words of Clarity, my handmade creation for our focal points for love, peace, and happiness, which is always available to us in abundance. And sometimes it's just a matter of shifting our focus to be aware of it. So let's see. What's our word of clarity today for love, please, and thank you? Thank you. We have recognition. So recognition. And how perfect is that? Because we had Jenny recognize mothers for Mother's Day today, right? Mexican Mother's Day. And just Sunday was Mother's Day here in the U.S. I'm not sure if it is in other countries or not, but comment that. Let me know. I'd like to learn about that right now. but recognition, you're being recognized. Hey, Norma Jean, I see you, boo. What's good? What's good? All right. Okay. So recognition, where have you been recognized? Being grateful for the recognition that you're giving. So I feel like there's energy of different ones who are of value to you, are recognizing your contributions, your accomplishments, to the family. I hear to the family, and to your career, your art, stuff like that. So whatever is important to you, putting your energy into, I feel like you're being recognized, and definitely family came through strongly. Okay, let's see, what is our focal point of advantage for peace? Solve. I told you, what did I say? That you, maybe there's some bits and pieces from those 3 ones in spirit who are guiding you, helping to pull you forward to that place of your choosing, for your best good, for your highest, lightest, and brightest good. These loved ones are helping to carry you forward into that direction. And so with the word solve coming out for peace, I feel like you're starting to see the solutions. Things are starting to make more sense than before. Okay. Baby girl says yes. And yesterday was also Mother's Day in Canada. I did not know that. So good to know. Anyone want a hot drink? Girl, spread it out. Serve the tea. We go. Oh no, that's my job, right? Okay. Hello, Lee. So thankful, grateful to have you with us. All right, let's look at what is our word of clarity for focus for happiness at this time. Oh, look at that. Glorious, glorious, glorious. So there are some glorious happenings in your life. That you are sitting in a glorious energy. You have this glorious ability to radiate that love, peace, and happiness. And there are a lot of beautiful things where you could just see clearly that, hey, this is a blessing. Hey, this is a manifestation. Hey, this is that high vibration vibe that I love because it's tribe. Yes, okay. The bottom of the deck, we have store. I hear, okay, so it's coming through. There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. If the stores are all closed, when she gets there, she knows with a word she can get what she came for. So there's that energy of your ability to manifest, to materialize. So the store is closed. What the hell did that matter when I show up? I mean, somehow it's going to be there for me. This is like when the pandemic was at its worst, right after the quarantine. Like I got a house full of kids mixed with Korean. And one thing you can't be lacking in a Korean kid household is rice. And honey, let me let you know we ran out of rice. And it was like, oh, hell no. Gonna have to fix it. So we go to the grocery store, right? This is at the time where everything is dry on the shelves. And I'm just like, right before closing time, I'm standing there and I'm staring at this shelf that they have rice. Little 1 cup, little tiny servings like that. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? What exactly am I supposed to do with this? And then the other thing was, it wasn't even like plain, because Korean rice is cow rolls rice, sticky rice, right? I'm staring at what I'm supposed to do with this long grain seasoned rice. My kids don't want that. They need some cow rolls rice. They need some Korean rice in their life. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm just staring at it. Standing there staring at it like there's got to be some of my rice here somewhere. I just know there's got to be some of my rice here somewhere. So stand there staring at it like if I'm expecting it to transform magically with my magical powers, of course, you know. I tell you what had happened, though. All of a sudden, these people showed up from out of nowhere, and this lady was putting a 5-pound bag of cow rolls rice on the shelf. I looked at her, I said, that's cow rolls rice you putting up there, right? And she said, yeah. I said, I bet you got a whole nother bag like that, don't you? She said, yeah. I said, well, let me get another one, because that's exactly what I was standing here waiting for. I'm telling you, there was none on the shelf, and the lady showed up with 2 of them. It's just like when we went to the store, there were no waters on the shelf, no waters on the shelf. I'm like, oh my God, there ain't no bottled water in here. What the heck is going on? We go to get in line with the other stuff. We were happy. You know, everybody was so focused on what was not on the shelf, including me at that moment when I was trying to get some water for the house. But I remember walking around the store saying with my dog, well, there's all sorts of food to eat here. These people act like there ain't no food in the store. They act like there ain't nothing on the shelf, but that's not true. We found plenty of stuff in here to eat. Anyway, so we got a whole basket. So the only thing we didn't get was the water. So we go up to get in line on the register. What you know, I look over You know how they have at the end of the aisle, they got all stuff stacked up there so you can hurry up and impulse buy, right? And I look and I'm like, is that a whole case of my favorite water in liter-sized bottles? And it sure was. I said, oh, this is for me. Pick that up, put it right in the cart. Honey, we weren't missing nothing. We weren't missing nothing because we always have extra toilet paper. That was not an issue. So the point is, you'll have some experiences like this too, where maybe it wasn't on the shelf when you got there, but it was in your basket by the time you left. I'm just saying, those are glorious little happenings. You know, they're showing me also, there's been times where that one year where I was like, oh my God, how am I going to pay these bills? Everything else is paid, but this last one bill, I needed $200 more. And for it to be on time, which was a habit I had been built. This was too many years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm like, everything else is paid off. I just got this one last bill to pay. I'm like, I don't know how you putting this $200 in my hand by the end of the night because I ain't got no work schedule. It's New Year's Eve. I'm going out. I don't know what's going on, but I know you better figure it out because I'm ready to pay all these bills. So it's your job to make sure these bills get paid on time. I'm doing my part now. You do your part. So I'm sitting here having this conversation every time I come up throughout the day with the spirit. And I'm like, okay, God, it's your time. You're going to figure out how to pay this. Do you know by the time the day hit, the next day, I had ended up getting a last minute call. I did go out that night, but I didn't go out and party. I went out and I went to work. And I had extra money, more money, because I had a celebrity client call me that night on New Year's Eve to go do her nails at the casino. And baby, bills paid on time. So how is this experience of mine relate to an experience of yours? You're like trusting, like, okay, God, I know you got me front, back, side to side, up, down, and all around. Now it's time for you to come, show up and show out on my behalf. Yes, that's that energy that this glorious card is giving me today, which I really have talked for a while about, but it needed to be told. It needed to be told. Okay, so focusing on these things, giving us happiness, giving us a beautiful point for happiness to focus upon. Let's see what the Download Oracle has for us today, please and thank you. What does the Download Oracle have? This brick wall is coming down, baby. And the words say, with the crumbling of the calcification of the pineal gland, the third eye is strengthened. So, show of hands, who all understands that there's been a lot of additives put into your food and water sources and shit like that so that it could calcify the pineal gland? If you're aware, raise your emoji hand. Let me know, okay? I'm curious because some folks don't know this still. That there's a lot of things put into the food sources and the water sources, into our air to calcify the pineal gland. Well, if we know that the pineal gland is that receptive center of our intuitive vision, okay, that's why it's been so much efforts to desensitize that, to dull it, to nullify it, to make it dysfunctional and non-functional. Thank you. To make it non-functional. Well, Spirit said, it's in. As a matter of fact, over the retreat, we were talking about, and I'm so glad we get to talk about retreat stuff. As a matter of fact, be looking forward to some series of videos where I'm going to give some of the same information we talked about during the retreat, because the signal over there went wonky. So I guess what happened there was meant for those who were there, but the Spirit said, now you make some videos for your YouTubers so that they can get the information as well. So I see some folks raising hands that y'all know what's going on in these streets, right? And so what they showed me was we talked about the conveyor belt system that delivers everybody's luggage in the back house of the airport, and how it was all misaligned. You got some going too fast, some ain't spinning at all. They ain't lining up in the right place for the luggages to get to the correct door so they can make it on the right plane where they're supposed to go. You got some luggages flying, hitting up against a brick wall over there. Ain't even nothing over there. There's a big old mountain of luggage there. You got another conveyor belt over there. It ain't moving at all. And it's just a mountain that fell down and formed underneath from the top to the bottom of the floor. And then it's just luggage everywhere and nowhere that it's supposed to be. And so what Spirit has showed me a while back was this is what the human mind had been looking like for a while. So the first step of rectifying this situation was realizing that, hey, there's something that's misaligned there. Where in our mind? Then you got to call a specialist in. You got to get a mind mechanic on the job. Or in that case of the example, you got to call somebody who knows how to set up this conveyor belt so that the system is running and functioning correctly, right? So you call the repair guy. Hey, I got a problem. I got luggage where it ain't supposed to be and nothing's getting where it's supposed to be. Come on in and help me out. Check this out. So you book your appointment. They show up. They're like, oh, boy, you got a whole jumble here. Okay, let me set this up. They start aligning it. So in this process, you start to see things. You start to become aware of mind mechanics. You start to become aware of why you do things, how you do things, how you can adjust these things so they're done differently, okay? Now, the repairman then aligned everything he can. Now he's working on the timings of the machine. He's working on the settings so that the conveyor belts are all running in the proper speed and in the proper direction, because some of that stuff was just running backwards, right? And so once he figured that out, he's like, oh, shoot, we got some missing parts here. Some of these parts are burnt out. They're broke up. They're not functioning. And he said, I'm going to call the supply warehouse and see if we got some of those. I'm sure we got. He calls, and to his surprise, oh, my gosh, these things have been on back order for a long time. There was none available. They just weren't available. But all of a sudden, he's like, now they just got a shipment in. They just got a shipment in. So all these parts that are needed to correct the conveyor belt system or the human mind are now available. They weren't available before. And what Spirit showed during the retreat was that part that was missing with the pineal gland. The calcification of the pineal gland was very real. But with this awakening of Christ consciousness, there's been a crumbling of the calcification of the pineal gland. Some of you had actual head injuries. It wasn't a real injury. You bumped your head real hard, and that helped to break loose some of that calcification. Some of y'all been having a lot of sinus issues or allergy issues. Some of you have noticed that this is picking up when you're doing channeling or any type of spiritual activity that it comes up. And a lot of y'all have noticed it happened to me on the show all the time, where I was like, all of a sudden I got to be blowing my nose and blowing my nose and blowing my nose. And that's why. Okay. Because that's the swiftest way to remove all that junk that's not supposed to be in there from off of your pineal gland. And what I see is something, if you could just imagine, it's crusted over, right? And as this crust is removed, now this pineal gland is bright, and they're saying, and it's pink, and it pulses. They're saying it pulses. I don't have any scientific evidence to back this. This is what they're showing me. And it pulses, and it's functioning. It can grow, and it can function the way it was supposed to. Now the problem's been solved. Okay, so that was a lot. Somebody really needed all that detailed explanation and that example. So yeah, once the part's in, then a repair person could come in, and you know what I'm saying? So who's that repair person? The repair person is a collective. It's a collective of all those who have spiritually inspired you. It definitely includes your spirit, angels, ancestors, guides, your higher self, all that, okay? So what is the main word of clarity for guidance? What is the guidance for us overall at this time? Norma Jean says, boil your water. I don't even trust boiled water. Okay, girl. Meditate. We need to meditate. So they're saying this, go to your spiritual gym. Go to your spiritual gym. Make time to meditate. I don't care. It's 5 minutes and you lay in bed 5 extra minutes so you can just breathe with yourself, so that you can just get in tune with your spirit and let your spirit just flow peacefully before you go get busy with this, that, the other, and your mother and everything else in between. I know. When you swallow water and food, a portion of that passes through the third eye. You can feel it. Have a drink. And I just had a drink. Okay, at the bottom of the general guidance, we have visualization. With words of clarity. Okay, so they're saying you have a vision, you have a hope, you have something you want to manifest. Okay, they're saying spend some time in meditation about that. Okay, if you can't clear your mind at all, this is some people, I'm hearing some of you have a hard time clearing your mind at all. They're saying if you can't clear your mind and just go blank, then they're saying, can you just focus on what it will feel like to have that manifestation of that visualization of that wish fulfillment that you're asking for? What would it feel like if your dreams came true, if magic was poured all over you, your life, and all that? Get into the feeling space of that. That's important for us, okay? It's going to help us increase our focus into the etheric cloud that will eventually materialize once it has reached maturity. So they're showing me like rain clouds where it has to have the right conditions for the vapor of clouds to manifest into water droplets and become rain. Likewise, with your visualization, it needs enough energy and the right conditions in order to manifest into physical matter. And so, beneficial to spend time meditating, adding that energy to that etheric cloud of that vibration that turns into physical manifestation of some things that you love to see. All right, so let's see what is our tarot experience for us today. Please and thank you for our tribe of love and peace and happiness. Show me what's going on with tribe. What is the message for tribe at this time, please and thank you. Okay, and they're saying this is going to be first off the physical experience. What's happening in the physical experience, okay? What's happening in the physical experience is temperance. Oh, and the physical experience is saying you have to wait for some things to happen. You're waiting. You're waiting for something to happen. You're in this space where it's not quite time yet. There's also for somebody, there's a getting to know somebody, getting to know another person for someone here. But this is about using your spiritual abilities to create in the physical world, because one of the key word that is being brought to mind with this Temperance card is spiritual alchemy, which is where you're creating energetically using the power of thought and focus and emotion, balanced emotion and mental focus. If you look the way this angel's head is lit up, and if you are the angel, right, and then balancing the waters, balancing the emotions, okay, using that to create in a divine spiritual way. Okay, so let's see. Clarifying this temperance, please, from a handmade tarot. Let's see what we have today. The Magician. I told you, you were using your power to create. Okay. And the Empress. Ooh, that creative energy, nurturing, prosperous energy. Hangman. There, hold on, it's not all the way complete yet. You got to hold on with the patience energy of temperance. And the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is taking mature, well-focused action. So this is not only using your spiritual powers of visualization and getting your emotions in balance and feeling the energy of what you want to create, but it's also with the King of Wands, you're taking decisive, deliberate action towards the meeting of those goals. So, like, it would be foolish of me to sit up here and visualize all day long from my bed, successful nail studio with a lot of clients if I never take my ass and do the nails. It just don't make no sense. So at some point, I got to get to the studio and do the nails if I want that visualization to come complete. So it's like using the power of thought to create, but then also following through with the action, the inspired action. This lends itself to the successful accomplishment of those goals. All right, let's see, what does the tribe want in this? Oh, you just want happiness. You just want to be happy, pure positive energy. For somebody, this is, I'm hearing you really just want to be in a positive environment. You want to be you found your happiness and you just want that to continue going. I hear against all laws. Okay, Tupac coming through, the homie. Hey, what's up, boo? Yeah. So you just want to be happy. Now, here's the thing. On the macrocosmic scale, this is about what humanity is really seeking, is consciousness and pure positive connection to their source. I hear to their source. So let's see what we have clarifying. We have the Five of Cups. What else? We have the Page of Cups. So Five of Cups is about sorrows and regrets. Page of Cups about getting what you want, thinking about what you want. Oh, I hear wanting just leads to more wanting. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, fulfillment, fullness, physically manifest, and also the end of an old contract, I hear, and the Four of Cups and rejecting offer. Okay, look. So here we go. Somebody here realizing, okay, so what? Calm down, speak slowly and clearly, please, and thank you, so they can understand the words coming out your mouth, and so you can too. All right. what you want is for things to be understood. Maybe you want somebody to understand you, because the Four of Cups talks about rejecting an opportunity, missed opportunity. It talks about saying, no, that's not for me because I'm happy here with what I see. Okay. And then the Ten of Pentacles, the end of a contract. It's also full fulfillment. There's a fulfillment there. Okay. So a contract fulfilled. Page of Cups. What do I want? Five of Cups. I want to get over the sorrow of the past. I want happiness. Okay. So somebody here is saying that whatever was blocking your abilities to manifest, I feel like you closing out those old cycles, closing out those old contracts, because for some of you, what you recognize was a solution to this, to have this peace and this glorious happiness in your life. You had to end some cycle in your life. You had to end some obligation. You had to end a contract. And for some of you, this is really just the end of the way that the family did things. You ain't doing things the traditional way no more. And they're kind of referring me back to last night's tarot and the shadow episode. And boy, was somebody triggered by that. Okay, let's see. Next card, we're talking about what is the guidance for what tribes should actually be doing in their physical world. Okay, and we have the Hangman. What you need to do is just hold on and continue to learn from where you're at. Look. It's not a time for physical action on this right now. You're waiting for the goal. Okay, because the Hangman was over here before the King of Wands, and they're saying that, yeah, it's going to be go time. You have what you need. You have the skills, abilities, or whatever to follow through when it's go time. But this is like, what's the point of you sitting at the studio all day, Melinda, if the client hasn't contacted you yet with their whole deposit and book the appointment? Like, you could go sit around there if you want to, but do something that's fulfilling in the meantime. They're saying put your focus in something that is fulfilling in the meantime while you are waiting for the goal. While you're waiting for the big goal, this is getting on my nerve. While you're waiting on the big goal, just focus on something that is beneficial for the now, and something that, so for example, maybe you're waiting to start a new job, or like me, you're waiting for some clients to contact you so you could go to work and pick up this paper. Well, what are you doing with the meantime, in between time? Use it advantageously and productively so that you know that your time is not just wasted, right? And some, I'm getting strongly, use it as a time to learn new things, okay? Ace of Pentacles is our first clarifier, new beginning, solid opportunity. Page of Pentacles, okay, what am I going to do with this new pentacle that I got? And the Five of Wands, a lot of contradicting energies, some conflict, some challenges. Nine of Swords is the fears and the worries and the anxieties. Okay, so here, somebody had been worried about what they going to do with this new opportunity and how are they going to follow through. And somebody's got anxiety about it, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? This would be like, well, I was waiting for the paperwork to go through. It's like, oh my God, how long is it going to take? So this is somebody here who all in their head creating a chaotic energy for themselves. So they're saying you have to trust in this new beginning and use your time advantageously to work through any of the kinks in your own thought processes, and realize, so maybe some of you are doing some things that are disadvantageous to your successful outcome. Trying so hard to make something happen that you're actually solidifying the idea that it's not happening, that it's not working, because you're trying so hard to make it work. You're saying it's not working. See, if you know it's working, you ain't stressed out, you ain't worried, you ain't fussing, you ain't none of that about trying to make it happen, because you know it's working, right? So some of us here, we're totally being guided, and I heard all of y'all. Totally being guided to stop thinking that we have to do something special to make it work. When it's time to act, Spirit will give us that go time. And if we're going to do something to keep ourselves busy while we're in that waiting period, let it be something that you know you can accomplish, something that is fulfilling, and something that doesn't lend to the idea that that's not doing what it needs to do, because it is doing what it needs to do. The only thing that's getting in the way is our headspace of, no, it's not working. It's not working. That's what gets in the way. Or I'm not doing enough. That's what gets in the way. Or it's not doing enough. That's what gets in the way. If there is something physical for you to do, Spirit's going to make it so strong as, what do we call it? The gotta take a shit urge. You got to take a shit. You're going to go find a toilet. You're not going to sit around waiting for an explosion to happen. You're going to go. And nothing's going to stop you. Now, if it feels like that, now then you know it's something to do. If you don't feel like that, how can you make the best out of the time that you have right now? Okay. Woo wee. Let's see, in regards to the emotional body, what is the message for tribe at this time? Please and thank you. Ooh, see, okay, now look, the 5 of Wands was here. What were the four of Cups is over here? We had the 5 of Cups over here, and the 5 of Cups is over here. So you want to be happy. In regards to your emotional body, they're saying somebody needed to stop looking back to the past about the sorrow and the things that didn't work out and thinking that there was something that was lost. Somebody was thinking there was a lost opportunity here. Somebody was feeling very rejected. It's like you got to stop feeling that you're rejected. You aren't rejected. You are protected and redirected by spirit to something that's more fulfilling and more in harmony with your path. And it's being clarified by the King of Swords, the 3 of Wands. So King of Swords, clarity, intellect, knowing, and the 3 of Wands, that things are working out somehow. The Hermit, going into yourself to reflect and to be guided by your own spirit, withdrawing from others, withdrawing from, for somebody, withdrawing from a third-party situation. And the Queen of Cups, and nurturing. This is about nurturing. So here, somebody knows that it's time for them to withdraw from a situation so that they can nurture their spirit and their soul. I hear you had a lot invested in something that, again, it feels like it didn't work out, but they're again giving me that redirection. The rejection is redirection and protection. Okay, so it was all in your best interest. Okay, somebody's having a hard time with that, and they're saying that's because there's some nurturing and some loving that needs to be done on your own. Somebody here in their heart, they know that they're, even though they're in a time by themselves, somebody's getting the down, they're going to have cause for joy, and they're